Florida woman tipped hundreds of dollars because she was convinced the eclipse was the rapture, then returned the day after the eclipse to demand her money back. Because of course she did. The server shared in a Reddit post that the woman tipped her $300 on a $40 check, and then wrote on the receipt, "In case you don't rise on April 8th. She then returned 2 days later and tipped another server $777, because that's God's number, of course. The server was so shocked he even had a manager go verify the tip with her, because she was obviously delusional, but she quickly confirmed it. Now, I don't know about you, but I, for one, was shocked to find out that an eclipse mathematically predicted by the Babylonians did not turn out to be the moment that God sucks up all of his best believers into heaven through his celestial bendy straw. Who could have seen this coming? Certainly not this woman, because instead of admitting she'd been duped, she returned to the restaurant and accused the servers of fraud and tampering with her tips, which the server explained is literally impossible, because at their restaurant they hand the credit card machine over to the customer and have them select the tip themselves. This, of course, did not satisfy the woman, who pitched a fit, then angrily stormed out to her Mercedes, just as Christ would have done. Naturally, people couldn't help but laugh at this situation, especially since many Bible scholars say the rapture isn't even in the Bible. It's an invention by theologian John Nelson Darby based on misinterpretations of certain Bible verses. These misinterpretations, and especially the notion of being left behind by the rapture, have been used as a cudgel for decades to scare Christians into adherence. And speaking from experience as someone who was raised this way, it's been deeply traumatic for many. It's really sad that a religion has leveraged fear to delude this many people. And of course, before long, the propagators of this myth will have a new event slated to be the end of the world that will once again have the devout needlessly on edge. Or, berating restaurant servers for the rapture tips they left.
Well, the next day for the fake rapture that's not actually in your book is going to be April 23rd, according to a report of Fox News based on some numerology. So April 23rd, which is a few days away, there's supposed to be another rapture event. Now, don't you just love this woman thinks that she was going to go to heaven in the rapture, but yet comes back and straight lies, which should tell you the character of the woman who actually believes in this book. And it's an amazing thing to me, because every Christian thinks that they are the right type of Christian that's going to go to heaven, but yet every other Christian is the wrong type of Christian that's going to go to heaven. And of course, all the non-believers are never going to go to heaven. And then they are liars themselves. When they get caught, get found out, realize that this whole stuff is a bunch of BS, then they want to lie and say that these servers falsified her tip, knowing good and damn well she put that tip on it. How do you live with yourself, knowing that you lied about something and that you're lying about something? It's one thing if I'm telling a story about something that happened to me 30 years ago, and then somebody who was there is telling a story, the same story, and it's a different perspective, or you forget certain aspects of it. But you just made this tip a couple of days prior, because you believe in a rapture based on something that wasn't even invented until the 1800s. And that's right, for all you Christians. The rapture was an invention by Darby in the 1800s, meaning that no one prior to that, none of your Christian theology was teaching anything about a rapture. So for all of y'all still talking about the rapture, you're just evidently showing that you've never done any research about it. Now, for the people who are claiming this date and that date is the rapture, and every time, they have been wrong, but y'all still follow them. Doesn't your book tell y'all that if a person makes a prophecy and the prophecy doesn't come true, then that person is a false prophet? Don't it tell y'all that? Don't it tell you that you're supposed to stone and kill the false prophets? Doesn't it tell you that? That's what your book tell you. How many of y'all are going to abide by that? You got whole religions based on prophecies, and the prophecy didn't come true, and y'all still follow the religion. Seventh-day Adventist is based on the prophecy of Ellen G. White. The prophecy didn't come true. So then they renegotiated what her prophecy was really about, so that people can keep on following it. The Jehovah's Witness prophecy was that once the 144,000 Jehovah's Witnesses were acquired, they would be sealed and the end would come. It didn't happen. So they renegotiated the story as well. And the religion lives on. How many times do y'all have to hear false prophets or have examples of false prophets and know that the religion is false? But y'all just gonna keep following day in, day out. That's why I can't be a part of y'all. because your mindset is too silly for me to deal with. And I mean silly like silly putty. So y'all have a great day. And remember always, you got to free yourself to be yourself, because your greatness is non-negotiable. Good journey, good vibrations.